Hi guys, it's Katie. So Megan Randall, thank you for reminding me to update everybody on kind of what my appointment was like yesterday morning, where I met the perinatal specialist, who is the one who does high-risk pregnancies, and that's where I came in with what I would who I would see if I ever wanted to have another child. And so we didn't even know if it was an option. So I met with him for, I want to say almost like 2 hours. Went through everything. And so the great news is I am able to have another child when and if my body's in remission for 6 to 8 weeks prior to conception, which is really, really great news. I didn't even think it was a possibility because of Benlysta, which is the drug that I'm taking. It's a B-cell inhibitor, more versed towards a different, it's not so much more attacking the entire autoimmune system, which mine previously, the 10 medications that I've been on for lupus have. So actually his recommendation was he would not touch any of my medication, which is actually 14 medications. Yesterday when they were going through my meds, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like I'm 45 million years old because I take a ton of meds. But he said, really what it comes down to is a healthy, happy mom is a healthy, happy baby. And the real only risks to the baby from me having lupus is having enough flare, which is why they don't want to take me off any medications, because ripping me off medications that I've been on to keep me healthy would induce a flare no matter what. So that was part of what his recommendation was, is that he wouldn't touch anything. Because, and the other thing is I can't take steroids, prednisone, because of my ulcer. And a lot of women who are on or have lupus control flares with prednisone steroids, which is what I used to do as well all the time. It's kind of like our quick fix. If you know, have ever taken steroids with a bronchitis or, you know, anything, it just kind of knocks inflammation out of the park. And people with lupus take an obscene amount, or can take an obscene high dose, and then you can kind of taper it down. And so literally, you know, and it's not all the time, it's not an all the time thing, but it will quickly knock a flare out of the park really quick for people who have lupus. So what the ideal thing is to knock it down before it continues on for days. And so what prednisone, we can take like 80 milligrams, you know, in one sitting, which at my age, it wouldn't typically be a problem, but for some reason it messed with me differently. And that was part of why I had an ulcer. And that's why it burnt, because the prednisone and the autoimmune drugs and the stress I was having is what was the perfect storm for my ulcer. So he said, even with the stuff that I take, he felt 100% okay with that, with all the drugs that I take to manage my lupus. And so I'm meeting with Paul on Friday to talk to him about what his thoughts are, because obviously it's a team approach, and I would have to be seen by perinatal specialist my entire pregnancy, so I wouldn't even have a regular OB, which is okay in my book. I mean, whatever they've got to do to make sure everything's okay. But the clinic I saw was really great, and I think, you know, and this is not something that we were even planning on until, you know, a year at least, because I've really got to get my disease under control, because it's not under control yet. So this is not, we're talking about like next October, even to think about starting, you know, if I wanted to. We just didn't even know if the possibility was even there for me. So that was what we really wanted to know and consult with him about, is even if we can even try. Because right now, I have been told with previous medications that I was on, you know, it's detrimental to the baby. So I have permanent, an IUD, let's just be honest, birth control, so that I wouldn't harm a fetus and I wouldn't have to make that decision if I were to get pregnant. And so that being said, that's really exciting. So I'm going to go talk to Paul just to make sure that he's on par with what their perspective is, because we're not making any decisions right now, because we don't know what my health will look like in a year. But I'm excited to know the fact that it's a possibility if I wanted it to be a possibility. And it's my choice. So that's what I'm excited about. So thank you, Megan, for reminding me. And there is hope out there. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen anytime soon or the decision we were making. I just wanted to be armed with the knowledge that it wasn't a surprise to me because I knew it was a definite possibility. And the other option is that we would harvest my eggs at 30, or if I wasn't healthy in a year. So in a year, we'll see how I feel. And if not, then we'll look at egg retrieval so that my healthy childbearing year eggs are safe and sound if I ever choose to use the surrogate, or we choose to do adoption down the road or whatnot. Who knows? Just what the options are for me because I am so young. And so just to update other lupus patients too, there's options. So don't feel like there isn't. Yeah, that is my update for today. Whoop, whoop. Have a great day. Bye.